Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and do a little bit more ACT review. First of all, if I have parallel lines, I have line 1 is parallel to line 2, they're cut by a transversal. We need to talk about which angles are congruent. So we have congruent angles, and then we're going to talk about which angles are supplementary. Now, the list of congruent angles would be 2 and 3. Angle 2 congruent to angle 3, and that's by vertical angles. If I have 2 and 7, angle 2 is congruent to angle 7. Those are on the outside but opposite sides of the transversal, so they're alternate exterior angles. Versus 3 and 6, angle 3 is congruent to angle 6 because those are alternate interior angles. Now, additionally, I have angle 2 now and angle 6 are congruent. Those are going to be by corresponding angles. Now, this would also apply to any of the other given starting points that we use. However, if we have angle 6 and angle 4, angle 6 and angle 4 are not congruent, but angle 6 plus angle 4, they add up to 180 degrees because they are consecutive angles, and consecutive angles are congruent. So we also have angle 6 plus angle 8. They also equal 180 because they are a linear pair. So a couple things to take a look at when we're talking about parallel lines, congruent angles. Now, we also have a number of properties that apply when we start talking about different shapes, and those parallel line properties apply to that. But we also need to start talking a little bit about parallel and perpendicular from a slope perspective. So if I have slope, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, that's going to be one of your key formulas to use for coordinate geometry. So if I have the points 1, 3, 5, 4, I'm going to use those to find the slope between those 2 points. Now you have to be able to graph them, of course, but in our case, we just want to find the slope. So we're going to say 4 minus 3 over 5 minus 1. I come up with 1 over 4, or a slope of 1/4. I also could be using a midpoint, so x2 plus x1 all over 2, comma y2 plus y1 all over 2. And so in this case, I'm going to say 1 plus 5 all over 2, comma 3 plus 4 all over 2. And I come up with 6 over 2, which is 3, and I come up with 7 over 2 for the y value. So that's your midpoint formula. And this was your slope formula. Now, you also need your distance formula. Distance formula, d equals the square root of x2 minus x1, the quantity squared, plus y2 minus y1, the quantity squared. So that's going to be distance. And we come up with, in our case, 5 minus 1, the quantity squared, plus 4 minus 3, the quantity squared, square root. And we come up with, in this case, 4 squared plus 1 squared, square root, and I come up with square root of 17, leaving square root of 17. So you have those. Now, if I wanted a slope perpendicular to the given slope, if m equals 14, the slope that is perpendicular, upside down t, of course,